When the end comes, the most surprising thing is how nothing changes. So a little context before I start. I'm going to pass away this week, probably not more than a few days away now. My reason for posting here is asking for some advice, maybe some help with reflection on how to remain stoic in a situation like this, or perhaps just someone to wave me off. I'm having what can only be described as an incredibly vast mess of emotions raging within me, competing for dominance, anything from fear to sadness, happiness and excitement, and of course confusion. But the one I'm struggling the most with is how nothing seems to have changed around me. That life moves forwards for everyone else while I seemingly stand still is such a surreal feeling which makes this so unreal. I wake up like any other day but with the knowledge that it's soon over, that I'm not going to catch the next episode of that TV show, how I'm not going to read that new novel or try that new game with my friends. Fear because I'm afraid of what comes after, if anything at all. That there could be nothing is just as scary as what could be. Sadness because I have had to distance myself from friends, also a factor in leading me to post here anonymously. Happiness because I won't need to worry about the physical pain and further deteriorating body, that I don't need to question whether or not I have eaten in the past few days. Excitement because of what could be, maybe there is a vast world that I get to explore without being ill. And confusion because all of these emotions exist and act out simultaneously. I opted for not being in the hospital, and instead in the relative comfort of my own home. I'm feeling very conflicted as I clean what I can, tidy, throw away things, and generally prepare myself for maybe not waking up the next day. The recurring theme is that none of this feels real to me yet. I expected things to be different, for the world to say something back to me. But all I'm met with is the little comfort normality brings, although I am feeling disappointed and confused that nothing is different around me. If you've gotten this far, thank you for reading this. That someone is even taking the time to read this means a lot to me, because it makes me feel just a little bit better, because maybe someone would be able to understand just a little bit of what I'm feeling through this text. Edit. To everyone that is reading and commenting, I try to reply to as many as I can, but know that you are already doing more than I could have hoped for from a stranger. All of the comments in this post bring me an amazing sense of calm I could never have imagined I'd get. So many people engaging with me makes me feel a sense of calm in the storm I didn't think was possible. You guys are all giving me the feeling that it's going to be okay, that it's just the next step, that you all have given me the thing I treasure the most right now, your time and attention. So to everyone reading and commenting, thank you. Edit 2. I believe no time is wasted if it's spent doing what you want or what you enjoy. For me right now, with my limited time, I find myself smiling and feeling a sense of companionship to everyone here, sharing their opinions, insight, and thoughts with me. That I am able to interact and share meaningful moments with all of you is something I will treasure forever. Everyone is going through a tragedy. They don't stop coming, they come more frequently. Life doesn't get better, but we do. 2019 was a tough year and I became very self-absorbed. I lost 3 friends, including my best, to drug suicide, and more suicide in a very short span of time. I lost another friend to murder. Another best friend was sleeping with another best friend's wife. Destroyed the group. We've all been the tightest friends since high school for over a decade. I felt like my whole world was ripped apart piece by piece. All I wanted was for it to stop and for things to just get better. It doesn't. Grandpa has cancer throughout his entire body. Mom lost her job and needs surgery. Thank God we live in Canada. I broke up with a woman I probably should have married, but instead blamed her for some of my unhappiness, and I hurt her. A lot. Just to top things off, I was also working 16-hour days at 3 jobs, while studying for my real estate license, while coaching wrestling as a volunteer, while volunteering at the hospital on Fridays. I never took a single day off except the morning one of my friends died. My boss told me to go home from training because I was distracted. I failed my 3rd real estate exam the week my best friend died. Cost over $1,000 to retake. At my other jobs, I would cry in the bathroom and blame the time spent on constipation. 3/4 of my finances were lost in the stock market that I did not keep up with. I gained weight and became very antisocial and self-absorbed. To be honest, there were mornings I would be driving the work truck and be contemplating suicide. But I told myself I just needed to ride it out. Things would get better. But it took me even longer to realize that I'm strong enough to bear the burdens of life, and that I needed to be more responsible. And that's what is most important. Things get better when you have time to think about them. I quit the jobs I hated. I'm a full-time realtor now. I've had a lot more time to think. I fell in love again, and felt rejection for the first time. But wow, what an awesome part of life to be able to love so much is a blessing, even if they don't feel the same way. And turns out they only wanted you for one thing. Bit of salt there still. I spend every day I can with my grandparents, whom I knew I took for granted. I love my new job as a realtor. I love my athletes that I coach. I love when the patients at the hospital tell me how much they appreciate me, and knowing that I can do something for them and not getting anything in return. No one but my parents and my ex-girlfriends know I volunteer. I love every minute of my life. I want to share this journal entry with anyone reading that life doesn't get any better, but we do. And when we do our best, it makes life better for everyone. I'm a genuinely happy person again. People are much more attracted to me again. I'm able to give so much more again. My closest friends ask how I'm able to give away so much of myself, with how much money and time I spend on others. My cup is overflowing. Happiness doesn't come from your savings account. It might be different for everyone, but from this Stoic, it comes from how much I can give. Thanks for reading to the bottom. I hope your 2020 is the best you've been yet. I really appreciate my first Reddit gold, and I really appreciate that my little journal entry had an effect on people in a positive way. Thanks everyone. I want to add that although I appreciate it, and I don't want to sound ungrateful, but money is better spent on doing something to help ease someone else's tragedies. Thank you so much. Happy New Year, everyone. Holy fuck, stop using Stoicism to become an emotionless punching bag and take action to solve problems. Holy fuck, the amount of PPL not understanding Stoicism wastes their youth. Stoicism isn't a pill you take to not feel pain. It's not something you use as an excuse to not handle your problems. The goal isn't to become a fucking soulless and heartless, uncaring person, unable to feel emotion. Guys turn to Stoicism since not feeling is a masculine legacy, but men take action to solve problems and become stronger and get better. Providing, protecting, etc. Oh, I got yelled at. I'm broke, family member died, so I should be resilient. BC, I can't change it, so I shouldn't care, is a common and fucked up interpretation of Stoicism. Yes, you can't revive the dead, but you can solve the root problems, trauma making you grieve. Go talk back to the person who yelled at you. Go get skills and get paid more. Go to therapy and deal with trauma. The goal is not just to be selective and solve the problems you can solve, but to understand the root of your problem and solve that. Cool, you're not tall enough? No use crying about being short? No. The problem is you feel unconfident. So get things that would make you confident in other ways, e.g. more money, better clothes, better communication skills. If you get punched or emotionally berated and use Stoicism as a masculine mask to cope, it means you're not dealing with it. It's going to keep happening, and you're not a punching bag. If you don't solve the problem influencing your feelings and life at its source, you'll keep getting hurt, and coping sounds like you can't change, that it's okay to continue to keep being hurt. If I'm sad or want to be stoic while I'm broke, fuck that. Do something about that. Stoicism isn't about rolling with the punches. It's about taking action on what you should and can take action on. Fuck, if you got some shit to do, post it below and do it. Take action, and don't be a soulless punching bag unwilling to stop the punches. If you enjoy this type of content and would like to see more of it and support the channel, feel free to subscribe and turn on notifications.